So I have been having the worst time on Roblox recently, and sure, I absolutely could just stop playing these games until they fix themselves and come back when it's playable again. I probably should just do that, and I definitely would if I didn't literally play and record this game every single day for my videos. My experience and my enjoyment levels have been slowly deteriorating over the last 4 days or so, and what's actually causing this is such a foggy situation to me because it's actually so difficult to determine what's going on and which side is at fault. But I guess before we get into all the confusing stuff, I should probably explain to you guys the details of exactly the problem I have come face to face with. It genuinely got so annoying to me that I started tweeting about it, so I guess that can be a decent starting point. Is this happening to anyone else, or is it just me? Literally every Roblox game is fine except every Arsenal server I join is almost unplayable with constant bad lag spikes, like 2000 to 5000 ping bad. And first of all, I woke up to that tweet having around 400 likes, so I think it's safe to assume that other people are experiencing the same thing, but here is why I circle back to being hopelessly confused. Basically, you guys know I play Roblox Arsenal a lot, and that is made evident by the background footage of almost every single video I upload, and with me playing it a lot and never complaining prior to the recent situations, I think it's obvious that I have never had a problem of this nature previously, and the worst I'd ever come across was at least one hacker in almost every single server I joined. When you're playing Arsenal, you can see your ping up in the top right hand corner, and that basically just means your connection speed to the game or something along those lines, and the lower that number is, the better. I think the highest ping that I had ever experienced in Arsenal was 60 prior to this happening, with an average of anything between 20 and 40, but recently I have been getting hit with numbers averaging around 2000 ping, and the highest I saw one time was it spiked to 5000 ping. Just for a little bit of context, if you don't understand all of these numbers, I think I would say anything below 200 ping is acceptable and the game's gonna run completely fine. Anything above that is when the issues start happening, so 5000 is insane. Although that is all that they are, it just appears to be these random spikes every now and then, which is mildly annoying, but in terms of being able to play the game, it doesn't affect anything too harshly. It just doesn't look very nice to be seeing that happening inside of your actual recorded footage that you plan on using for a video. Hello there, please make sure to leave a like on this video and you'll become my favourite person in the whole entire world. And of course, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because we must travel forward to our new goal of 280,000 subscribers. So around 2 hours after my first tweet, I tried playing Arsenal again because I really just wanted to record something and be done with it, but it still wasn't working out, and if anything, it only ended up getting worse. And so I decided to record around 20 seconds of it to see if anyone could relate to what they were seeing. Please help. Pretty much every server has been like this for the last 3 to 4 days, but it's literally only in this one game. I mean, you guys can watch the video for yourself, and let me also slip in here that I was basically spam clicking the shoot button whilst recording this, and the lag was so bad that it wasn't even registering or firing out my shots. As you can see, I managed to get one shot in there at the beginning, but after that it all started going downhill. There is people running on the spot and then teleporting all around the map because the ping kept shooting up so high. My weapons just were not working because the ping was so high, and it didn't give the game a chance to register that I was clicking buttons, and then everyone would just freeze on the spot, only for everything to shift, and I would have magically died from someone who has now made their way to the other side of the map. But to every other player in that game, I was probably just standing still on the spot for a good 5 minutes whilst my ping worked on sorting itself out. But here is why it's such a confusing time for me, because obviously I've never been faced with something like this before, and I don't want to completely rule out the possibility of it being a fault of the game or the developers of the game, but I also don't want to straight up suffocate them with the blame, and so I'm trying absolutely anything and everything I can do to try and determine if it's something wrong on my end or on their end, but I just can't find a single thing wrong on either end for that matter. As soon as I get the lag spikes of 5000 ping, I go off and do an internet speed test, and there is never anything wrong there. I often sit at a speed of around 370 to 400, which is apparently that's very fast. I also try playing literally any other Roblox game and there is never a problem with any of those either. They run completely fine and there is not even 1 second of lag until I hop back into Arsenal and I can't even shoot the gun because of the intensely high ping. But also Arsenal continues to have a consistent 30,000 or 40,000 players that it always has, and so if this was a widespread problem that was the fault of the game itself, I can't imagine it just wouldn't drop in players at all. So with it not appearing to be a fault on my end, but also not a fault on Arsenal's end, I felt a little teeny tiny bit lost and didn't really know where to go from here, which I guess is the whole reason I took it to Twitter, because at this point I really just wanted to know if I was the only one experiencing this or not, and I got the UGC creator Simply a Lemon telling me that she had been getting the same exact thing, and then the Roblox RTC Twitter account replied with probably a side on yours or Rolf, which is what I was trying to figure out anyway. So I replied to them by saying, that's what I thought, like I thought my Wi-Fi was just pooping, but everything except Arsenal is working completely fine. And then they replied once again with, yep, then that means it's Rolf, but I just don't think that's the case. My explanation of what's actually happening with my situation is completely all over the place, and if that doesn't prove to you guys just how confused I am over this entire thing, then I don't know how else I could possibly prove that. And of course I literally got hundreds of replies on Twitter of people telling me that they constantly have the same problems with their ping and their connection and the lag spikes, that when you smash them all together it becomes one big unplayable mess. But at least 80% of those people relating seem to just have those problems with their Wi-Fi connection in general, and no matter what game they would be playing, not just when it comes to Arsenal, and only specifically in the last few days or so, which is my frustratingly specific issue. Sometimes the games will be running completely fine for maybe 30 minutes or so, but then all of a sudden the waves of lag will start hitting, and let me tell you how it's especially annoying to watch this happen when you are in the middle of recording probably one of the best matches you have ever played. But then other times I'll join a server and right off the bat there is going to be connection issues and 6,000 ping sitting up there in the top right corner. So if anything, that situation is preferable because at least it's not hiding, and at least this way I can expect the game connection problems to happen before I start recording and playing. I still don't know what to say or how to react to this because I'm no closer to understanding what's going on. So if any of you guys are also specifically experiencing the same thing as me, then please do let me know, because like the game has always been completely fine up until the last few days where only this game's servers are having terrible connection issues. Look, so if this truly is just a fault of Arsenal, then that means it's a very minor problem and it's happening to a very minimal amount of players. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it will probably end up sorting itself out no matter what the problem is, and everyone will end up being happy once again. Or at least that's what I'm hoping will happen, because it's getting more and more difficult to record background footage for these videos. I can't imagine going back to Fall Guys right now, not until Season 2 releases at the very least. But anyway, let me guys think of Roblox Arsenal having super bad lag spikes and high ping issues recently. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.